beginning, of course, there's the Erev Yom Kippur. We say the Vidui in Mincha. The reason given is that in case somebody might choke in the last meal before Yom Kippur, so we want to make sure he did a Vidui before he choked. So that's why we do it. Now, so that's Erev Yom Kippur. Right now, the before the Kol Nidre, so we okay. For the Kol Nidre, there's a Tefillah Zaka. Let me see where it is here. Tefillah Zaka. See, they even put up a sign when it starts to say Tefillah Zaka. Let's see. It's page 38. Page 38, Tefillah Zaka. Now I'm going to tell you when to do only English, not Hebrew. Okay? So this one, only English. Then you say it. See, certain things have to be said in Hebrew, such as Kriya Shema, Shemana Esrei. But Tefillah Zaka, it's a very important tefillah about tshuva. We also, during the Tefillah Zaka, we accept upon ourselves the holiness of the day of Yom Kippur, which means not eating or drinking, and also not to do work, just like Shabbos, even though this year it's on Shabbos anyway, but it still has the same laws as Shabbos. And so, okay, you'll say it. They give a certain amount of time to say it. Then we come to the Kol Nidre, which is page...
You know if Svarim say Tefillah Zaka as well?
I mean, they could. I don't know. Let's look in the thing. Oh, before that, before Kol Nidre, the Chazan walks around with the Sefer Torah. He walks around the whole. Everybody gets a chance to kiss the Sefer Torah. And maybe people did, Averis with their mouths. So that's a purification. And and he says a certain pasuk, but only he says it. Kol Nidre is page 58. So it starts off with like asking permission to pray with the transgressors. It's very important. Everybody should be unity for the Klal Yisrael. See, on Yom Kippur, unity is very important. It says we're supposed to be like malachim, like angels on Yom Kippur. So now the Kol Nidre, you could say it along. It's a good idea to say it along with the Chazan. And, I once heard that the Nigun, Kol Nidre, anyway, I once heard that it's everybody, even the Sephardim, all to say the same Nigun. So I don't know how many hundreds of years, maybe more. And the idea of the Kol Nidre is it's called like nullifying of vows, which we did on Rosh Hashanah, but so it helps for somebody who didn't do it then. It's a nullification of vows. After that, okay, you say, now we say the bracha Shechiyanu, page 60, Shechiyanu is, so that goes on the Yom Tov. See, usually we say Shechiyanu on the Yom Tov in the Kiddush, but there's no Kiddush on Yom Kippur. Then we say it by itself, and we say it ahead of the Chazan, and then he finishes it up, and we say Amen. Right after that, we're going to do Mizmar Shel Yom HaShabbos, page 62, because since it's Shabbos, on a regular Yom Kippur, we wouldn't say it, but since it's Shabbos, we're going to say Mizmar Shel Yom HaShabbos, and Hashem, okay. And then there's usually a speech, and we go into Maariv. Right? Now you're familiar, with all the special editions that we have for these days, but anyway, in the Machzor, you're going to have it there anyway. So we'll go to the Shemana Esrei. All right, now, if you want to turn to page 90, so there, you get two choices. You look at the bottom of 90, with a line in the middle, there are two choices what to say. And we say the one on the right, Vorech Samo Yisrael Bas Shalom. Okay, then, now, at the end of the Maariv, which we also had in Mincha before, page 92 is the Vidui. We do it together with the Chazan. We sing, Shamnu Baganu. And then the next part of the Vidui is Al Chet. Chet Chatana, we bang on the chest when we say it. And it's supposed to be a bang on the heart. Exactly where the heart is. Okay, so then we say the Vidui. It's in the middle of the Shemona Esrei. Okay. By the way, if you're in the middle of Vidui, see, then you could answer certain things like Kedusha and Heshmei Rabbah, things like that, because it's ready after the Shemona Esrei. You don't even take steps back. Now, on page 100, this year we're going to say this is for Shabbos, like a regular Shabbos. And then after that, 102, there's the special piyutim, which are like songs, and we sing it together with the Chazan. That's page 102, and then there's a long paragraph. Now, on page 104, if you want to say this in English, you can say it in English. On 104, it's very long. Did you notice? All right. Then we go into the now we have slichas. In other words, on the night of Yom Kippur, we say slichas kel melech yoshev with Hashem, as you've hopefully been used to doing all along. All right. Yeah. I'm in the middle of a share and I may not have reception. Let's hear. Okay. Okay. So, okay, then there's in between each what's called, I don't know, like a song or whatever is the Kel Melech with Hashem, and we sing along with the Chazan. Sometimes maybe we say ahead of him. If you see that the congregation is saying, then say ahead of the Chazan. Okay. Then after these few, then we go. There's more slichas, very similar to the regular slichas. If you see these long paragraphs, you should really say them in English. Yes, please. Then Shema Kolenu, page 126, which we've been saying all along, verse by verse, with the Chazan. Then we have a very nice tune on 128. Yanu Amecho V'Yato Elokeinu. We sing that together. Then we say over that during Yom Kippur War, 51 years ago. So there were sirens on Yom Kippur. We were davening, and so when we were saying this, like, oh no, Hashem, you're with us, you're taking care of us. So it should have significance this year also. Nothing should happen. Okay. Then there's more slichas. And any of this you say as much as you can. And then we do another vidui, and that we do together with the Chazan. The vidui, al chet, page 132. Okay. And the vidui you could also do in English, if you want. Yeah.
What is each very symbolizing? What are they?
Which ones? Everything's got. Al chet it's a vidui, it's a confession. We're supposed to do confession, we have to do it 10 times. We do it once in Mincha, twice at night, in the morning, the afternoon. It's very important, yeah. We want to ask Hashem forgiveness. Of course, in order to ask forgiveness, we really have to do tshuva and say we don't want to do these things. It's very important. And a lot of them have to do with dibur, with speaking, forbidden speech. All right. Then we get after the vidui, and then a little bit more slichas. Again, you can, whenever there's a long thing, just say it in English. And then at the end of the Maariv, we don't say Avinu Malkeinu. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, Avinu Malkeinu was usually said at night on Yom Kippur and in the morning of Yom Kippur, and even the Mincha of Yom Kippur, but it's not said on Shabbos. So, but what? In the Neilah, that's the extra prayer on Yom Kippur. Kippur has a Maariv, Shacharit, a Musaf, a Mincha, and a Neilah, the last tefillah of is, so there we do say Avinu Malkeinu. And that Avinu Malkeinu at the end is very interesting because it's dragged out. Avinu Malkeinu Chatan. Why do we drag it out? Anybody know? The answer.
You want to make it time for
Well, we want to delay the time.
yeah.
We're delaying. Like this. In other words, you see, the Birchas Kohanim, the Kohanim bless the people, that is supposed to be before sunset. And that's the end of the Shemona Esrei. So then you have a break till we get to Maariv. We can't have Maariv too early, and we can't even blow the shofar too early. So we drag out the Avinu Malkeinu until time for blowing the shofar. The shofar at the end of Yom Kippur. Okay. Then we have the David Mizmor, page 148. The Chazan says, we say along, we say after him. Now there's, okay. The first four chapters of Tehillim are said also. It's protection against emissions.
Which page?
Over that, the fourth chapter of Tehillim is 168. Then we have the Shir HaYichud. Now this is page 164. This takes 45 minutes approximately. We say, like it's alternative. One verse, we say one verse, the Chazan says, and then it ends off with, if you know this one, that's what it ends off with. So that takes 45 minutes. After that, I give a shir, which could take close to 2 hours, on all the Mishnah of Yom, all about Yom Kippur, the whole Mishnah. Try it with Hashem's help. All right? Then, okay, so that's really the end of Maariv. And then we go to the Shacharit. Okay, Shacharit is pretty much the same as usual. I see now. Oh, very good. Even in the art scrolls, which is a certain amount of skipping. So from Baruch Hu, so till Baruch Hu is like a regular Shabbos fun. From Baruch Hu to Shemona Esrei, it's like a regular Shabbos. So if you try to do it in the art scrolls, it's all in here, but it's got to skip around. I'll say what page that is. We're going to sing Kelodon. It's page, yeah, well, I'm talking about, okay, you're right. Is this?
Why don't we do Shir HaMalah?
Three, what?
Why don't we do Shir HaMalah?
And that's fire, Nusuk's fire, we don't do it. Anyway, on 330 says Hamer Loretz. But it's a lot of skipping. He's even skipping before that. It's very complicated. It starts off. No, it's a different bracha altogether. I don't see how anybody could do it in here. If you look on page 326, it's a whole different bracha. We don't say it. So what you need, that's what I do. I take out a sitter, linetter, from Baruch Hu to Shemona Esrei. It's like a regular Shabbos davening. No extra inserts. Okay, then we get to the Shemona Esrei, which also has a vidui in it. And then we come to the repetition of the Shemona Esrei, which is page 366. There's the repetition. Now here, the first part is only the Chazan. And then so I mean, there's a skip, but it doesn't really matter. Like in the middle of 368, that whole paragraph is skipped, the middle paragraph, and also on 370. But it doesn't matter because only the Chazan is saying. Okay? Then there's, the top of 372, there's one line that first he says and then we say. And everything else is skipped, but this one line we do say. Okay, then We go into Yimloch on page 374. And Torah Shem Elokeinu Shmei words, which we did on Rosh Hashanah, the same thing. Da, 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 da. Okay. Then we have these now here. There's two in the middle of page 376. There's two honors. 2 times honor. We do say that first the Chazan and the people. Then we skip to 380. Also two verses. Melech Melech. Again skip. All the small print is skipped. And then until we get to 384. And then the bold print Hayom Ikose. We do say that. We skip again. I don't know if there's anybody in the world that does say these things, maybe. And then we skip again to 390. And here, again, we said first the people, first the Chazan and the people, or the people first and the Chazan. Okay. Maybe we'll sing along with the Chazan. Yeah, it's pretty long. It's a few pages. Then we do on 398. We do say it. Maybe keep ahead of the Chazan. On 400, we say this. The top part of the page. We sing it. Something like that. And then so we skip skip the bottom of 400. And then we go to 402. We do say this. We sing this together, the first half of the page, then we skip again until in 404, the Yoshe Tilos we say, and then we say the Yom Adin, that part of it we say, and then that takes us to Kedusha. We go into the Kedusha, and then we got the repetition, and then we have again Slichas on page 474, Slichas. And then that leads us into Shema Kolenu on 416. Right? And then, okay. And pretty much say along. Then we have another Vidui. That's pretty much the Vidui. And then, a little bit more skipping on page 426 and 428. That's small print. All right, then there's the repetition. There's Berchos Kohanim. This is in Shacharit. Then the reading of the Torah. It says the first verse of the reading of the Torah. It says if a person could cry, it's a good thing. It says Acharei Mos Shnei Bnei Aaron. The 2 sons of Aaron died. It's the beginning of the reading of the Torah. And there's the Haftorah. And then there's no break over here. Which like we had in Rosh Hashanah, after the Haftorah we had a break. Yom Kippur there's no break. We go into the Chazan does the Hineni, special tefillah, and we go right into the Shemona Esrei. Oh, there's Yizkor. I forgot to mention Yizkor. After the Haftorah, after Maftir. No, after reading of the Torah. Yeah, before I take back the Torah, there's Yizkor. Everybody goes out if they have parents, proficient. We're going to say Yukum Purkon. No, before Yizkor, we're going to say Yukum Purkon, because since it's Shabbos, that's page 468. Since it's Shabbos, say Yukum Purkon, like a regular Shabbos. And then there's Yizkor, and after Yizkor is Avarachamim, which you find in the Siddur, and then in the Machzor, and then Ashrei, and then we put away the Sefer Torah, and then we start Musaf. So there's no real, the only break, if you might say, is like for people who go out for Yizkor, it's a very short break. Now, Musaf and Mincha, I just happened to notice today that Mincha is 3:25, which is very early. There were times when Mincha would be 4 o'clock. So if it's 3:25, it doesn't look well. Maybe we'll have a short break. We'll see. Hashem should help. Then we try to have a break, if it works out. All right, now we go to the Musaf, the silent Shemona Esrei with the Vidui. Again, we do it. So generally speaking, Shacharit, Musaf, Mincha, there's 2 Viduyim. You do it twice. You give it a Mincha. Musaf has again a Vidui at the end. Okay. And Musaf, go to the repetition of Musaf, page 502. Okay. And then we do, the repetition. Again, the small print is skipped. And only the Chazan says.
The actual Musaf is shorter than Rosh Hashanah.
That's for sure. You're right. No, the Musaf. Yeah, no, yeah, but
I mean, you're
no,
done.
they're all different things.
You love, but I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. See how long it takes. I don't know. Okay. So there was pretty much not too much here. There's a lot of skipping until you get to 508. And just those two lines in the middle we say, the Chazan says, then we go 510. So again, skip the top of the page, only the middle. And the rest of that page, 510, we do say. 512 we skip. 514, the bigger print in the middle of the page. But you'll recognize then some more skipping. Till 522. Imra Elokim, then we stay ahead of the Chazan. That goes, that goes pretty straight. Then we get to the Sanatoka we had in Rosh Hashanah. Also, say it then. Hello? אני עכשיו לא פנוי, עוד רבע שעה להתקשר. See, I have to answer questions between 9 and 10 on the laws of Lashon Hara. So I'm telling people they have to call later.
And call-in number between 9 and 10.
So, right? Anyway, son, I get a lot of questions, especially in the Sarah made tshuva, a lot of them about doing tshuva. Anyway, all right, so 534, we pretty much had it on Rosh Hashanah too. We sing together with the Chazan. And then on page 538 is Kol Ma'aminin, which we had on Rosh Hashanah. Kol Ma'aminin. Okay. Go that, and then it'll take us pretty much into the repetition. It's pretty straight. Some things we sing together. And now, the vidui, the bowing, is on Rosh Hashanah there was only one bowing in the middle of Aleinu. And in Yom Kippur, there's 4 bowings. But the first one's Aleinu, which is page 550. It's the first bowing. Okay, now, then we get to page 554. Now, this is a very special thing. It's called the Avodah, the service in the Beis HaMikdash. Now, here, when I suggest you say a lot in English. When other people are saying in English, like Amit Koach, it talks about the history of the world. And so it starts Amit Koach on page 555. Word Amit, to say that in English. So it always.
Better to do all the ones that we don't know in English.
Yeah, again, Kriyat Shema, Shema Esrei, or even the beginning of the davening. But I think these kind of things should be said in English. You won't be able to keep up in Hebrew either. It's very hard to keep up here. I just about make it. Understand? So these things should be said in English. That's that's pretty much. Now, then we get to page 560. Now here, Kachaya Omer, we say it first, and then Chazin, and also about Kohanim. No, maybe that we say together with him. So in Kohanim, that's 560. On the bottom, we do a bowing. It's another paragraph that says, "Hayu Kaireim." This next to last line. Anyway, so Kori means go on your knees. And we bow, then we go on our faces, And it's, you may remember from Rosh Hashanah, they give out tissues. It's not for the pants, it's for the face. I mean that because now that I'm bowing a stone floor.
Put your knees on that paper, or you have
No, I'm saying it's for the face. The face, yeah, you want to keep you can put under your knees if you want, but it's the face that's not. You're not supposed to bow on a stone floor.
Wait, you're supposed to put your head down on it?
No, your face
But
goes
you
to
just
the
go-
ground. No, the face. No, you go on your knees, and then you stretch out and put your face on the ground, and then you say Baruch Shem Kavod.
what touches the napkins? My feet touch the napkins, or my head touches the napkins?
Your face, because you're not allowed to bow on a stone floor, so you're putting a separation.
But you do both. No, not your feet.
No, the knees is only for keep the pants clean. No, it's not halacha. Okay. Now, so we do. So this part is. This is, by the way, this paragraph is a vidui. Kohen Gadol, he does 3 times vidui under the confession, one for himself and the other Kohanim, and one for everybody else. With the one for everybody else, the whole Jewish people, is on the scapegoat, the one that they send away. So yeah. Now in between, okay, that was something. Okay, page 564. This is a nice song. Middle of the page. And we say achas. The Chazan says achas, achas v'achas, achas u'shtayim. Keep ahead of him. Okay. And then there's 2 of those. Then we got another vidui with the bowing. See, we don't skip any of this, even though it's a small print. But again, it's very long, and you should everything in English. All right, keep going. Yeah. Then okay, I remember it's pages and pages. It's very nice. Even you don't say the whole thing, but in English, like for instance, page 574. But our forefathers' iniquities destroyed the temple, and all these paragraphs takes a long time. But in the Hebrew, it's a very fast pace. Wow, all these pages. Wow. Until we get to 584. 584 is like the slichas, chorachamecha. That's similar to what we say even in these days in the slichas. Oh, then we come to 586, very important, but here too you can say it in English. It's the 10 martyrs. 10 martyrs, great rabbis, how they were killed, tortured, Hashem Yirachim. So that's for sure good to say in English. Then we get to page 592, that's continuing with the slichas, long paragraphs. Takes to get into Anamecha. Okay. And then we get to 598, which is the vidui, which we've been doing all along. So we're used to that. And that takes us to, there's some skipping a little bit. On page 606, we skip 608. All right. Then the repetition, and then there's Berachos Kohanim. Anybody here a Kohen? No.
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
applied.
Our only Cohen is not yet.
Oh, there's one Kohen in Mechina.
There's one Cohen.
All right, then that takes us up to Ayom Tam Seinu, page 62. That's pretty much getting close to the end of Musaf. Okay. Then page 520, and now with a break in between, then there's Mincha. Mincha starts with the reading of the Torah, taking out the Torah and reading the Torah. We also, the Haftorah of Mincha of Yom Kippur is about Jonah, the prophet Jonah. You know the story? He ran away, swallowed up by a fish. Anyway, so they say that, so the Mishnah Berurah says, the Chavetz Chaim, why do we read that on Yom Kippur? So for 2 reasons. He says, first of all, maybe the reason is, don't think you could run away from Hashem. You know, people they're gonna, even if a person has to come back to this world again if he didn't do it properly. So that's one of the lessons you learn from Jonah. Okay, that's that. So then there's the Mincha. Mincha's Shemona Esrei, pretty similar to the other ones. See, Musaf is a little different, but as you pointed out, it's not long, but it's different. And again, we do the vidui in the Shemona Esrei, and then we do a vidui again at the end, and it's repetition. Here, there's not much skipping in the Mincha. You won't find much skipping in Mincha. Well, I see something here. Oh, yeah, no, we say this. 678, we do say. You know, there's no skipping pretty much. Okay. A little bit on 692. A little skip. Which, say what?
Can we say Avinu Malkeinu right before?
No. On the other hand, we don't say. No, first of all, we're going to say Avinu Malkeinu on Friday morning. That's for sure. Which we usually don't do. We don't use it. And Erev Yom Kippur is like a holiday, so we don't usually say it. But but then we do say it in the morning of Erev Yom Kippur because we're not going to say it on Shabbos until the Neilah, right? So that's why we say it on Friday morning. Yom Malkeinu, okay, and the Neilah starts on page 706. So it starts with Ashrei and Avodah Tzion. Like anyway, on Shabbos afternoon we say Avodah Tzion. And that leads into the Shemona Esrei of Neilah. You know, the Neilah, we keep the Aron Kodesh open the whole time, but you don't have to stand. You're going to see some people that are old and weak, you know, they can't really stand, even though usually when the Aron Kodesh is open, we stand, but only if it's people could do it. If it's hard for them because of the fast, they don't stand. Then they'll get in the repetition of Neilah. Starts page 726. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty straight. And I see a skip here. But then we do, okay. Now, in the Neilah is very interesting. Again, there's a rush. Yeah. On the one hand, no, this is interesting. So why not start earlier, Mincha? See, Mincha goes, no, between Mincha and Neilah is like a speech usually, if we have time. But we can't start Neilah till a certain time. Because it has to be after like a certain time in the day. But then we have to rush it at the end. Now, when does the big rush come? When we have to say 7 times, you turn to page 742, 7 times Kel Melech with Vayover Hashem al Panav Vayikra. 7 times with some paragraphs in between. So that's, it gets rushed up. And the Chazan has to maybe rush up the repetition in order they can do Birchus Kohanim before the Shkia, sunset. All right, that's pretty much it. At the end, we have page 762. We do Shema Yisrael once. Baruch Shem Kavod, we scream it out 3 times. Also in the Kriyat Shema, we say Baruch Shem Kavod out loud. Hashem Elokim is 7 times. Now what's it? This is after. Where does the shofar come in? The shofar sounded after the Kaddish. It says here in the middle of the Kaddish, but I think we do it after the Kaddish. And then we say the Shana Abba Yishalayim, and it's usually a dance, and it's very nice. And then we do the Maariv, regular Maariv, with the Tochon Antonu, because we have to say that's, Havdalah. And then there's Havdalah afterwards. And then Kiddush Levanim, yeah. Kiddush Levana, which will be, sometimes do they have two different ones? Sometimes they have two different ones because it's good to eat before. So maybe they make earlier one, later one. Okay, it's up on the sign, you'll
Can you
find.
say v'yitan l'cha?
Now, it's very good you asked. V'yitan l'cha. Now, we're not going to say v'hinoam because the Yom Tov in the middle of the week, and you don't have 6 working days. We did say it. That was it. Not last Shabbos was Rosh. No, we didn't.
V'yitan l'cha? We said v'yitan
No. We did say it. We said v'hinoam this past because we had 6 full days from after Rosh Hashanah. It was, but v'yitan l'cha you say all the time, even in Chol HaMoed. I think even in Chol HaMoed. Say v'yitan every Motzei Shabbos. Not everybody says it, but they should say it. In the Berachos Kiddush Levana.
We should do a school thing with it.
So what?
Have like 10 people. It's a thing to have.
Even people do it
saying
together.
to each other,
There
we'll
are
do it
some
together.
shuls, they won't even say Aleinu until they say it.
Really?
Okay, I have to leave. So, Baruch, I only missed 2 calls, so it was good. All right, gentlemen, everybody should have a very good Yom Kippur, reach all the high levels, and if anybody